All right, we're doing this. Hey guys, welcome to my channel. It is my first ever video. I'm trying to remember to only look at the camera lens and not the monitor down there. I asked Neetha for some tips and I'm gonna try to remember them. Today, I'm going to be doing an assumptions video. I'll put up a question box on my IG stories. I got all the questions right here and I'm gonna go through all of them, good and bad too, because I have to be honest, and today I will be spilling the tea. I actually got this question more than once. People assume that you live off of our wives and that we're lazy. I don't really work all day. I just kind of chill. Before I actually go into what I do on a day-to-day basis, I'll go a little bit into my background and what I used to do. So when I was in college about 2008, 2009, I was actually studying to work in finance and stocks and wealth management. I was working full-time at Morgan Stanley. I was still deciding if I wanted to go all in, take the Series 66 and everything that I actually need to be certified. But I decided that I didn't really want to work in finance. Working in stocks is really stressful. It's kind of an all day, all night thing because there's finance markets that are open all around the world, like the European market, Hong Kong. I mean, I found it fascinating, but just the lifestyle just wasn't what I was looking for. Even though I eventually graduated in finance from college, I decided that I wanted to work more with computers. I've always been fascinated with IT and technology, so I decided to jump into cloud computing consulting because I figured that was the future. What I did for the consulting firm I worked for was, so if you're salaried, you may experience this yourself. You'll have one login for your medical plan. You have to log in to say Cigna for your dental plan, and then a different work website for your pay stub. So what I did was me and our team would go in, put all of that into one place. So all of your pay, your medical information, your time off, your projects, it would all just be in one place that you can access from anywhere. It was exciting for a while and it paid nicely. It just wasn't enough for me. It wasn't emotionally fulfilling. I mean, it's exciting to see a project you build for 8 to 12 months finally come to fruition, but there's only so much hype for me in building out financial and healthcare management systems. So eventually I kind of burnt out. Neetha said that she wanted to start a blog. So I said, okay, cool. So I picked up a little camera at Costco, this humble little Nikon. It was maybe 300 bucks. We started taking photos on the weekends, maybe on the weekdays. I kind of dusted off my Photoshop skills. I did a little bit of Photoshop in college. I kind of designed t-shirts for the frat that I was in. Kind of went from there. Eventually we knew we wanted to go full time because it was a lot more exciting. It was a lot different, but we just didn't know when. We didn't really have a roadmap. We were still trying to figure out Instagram and YouTube and see if it was really viable and sustainable as a full-time paying job. It got to a point where Neetha started growing a lot on Instagram, and a few years ago we decided, LA seems to be the center of the blogging world, so let's move there. Let's see if we can make something happen. So we moved out to West Hollywood in LA, but at the time we still weren't sure if it could, feed us. So I got a full-time job at Warner Brothers managing their financial and healthcare systems. Our schedule was a little hectic. I would be gone from 8 to about 7, maybe even 8 sometimes, because my commute one way was 45 minutes to an hour. I've experienced LA traffic. It really is no joke. So I would come home from 8 o'clock, quickly throw together some dinner, and then we'd work on Neetha's blog till about 12, 1 at night, not even taking any time off, just to be with ourselves because we were still trying to make the stream happen. And then the next day I would wake up at 7, do it all over again. I think that lasted about 6 months until eventually we just decided, we can't half-ass two things at once. We have to whole-ass, one thing at a time. We learned that from Parks and Rec. So I quit my job, and so for the next year, it was just all day, just 12, 14-hour days, shooting, filming, trying to figure out how to succeed, how to grow, what people were actually looking for on Instagram to post. And so to actually answer this question, there's really a lot that goes on behind the scenes. There's a lot of different moving parts. My finance background has helped us out with all of our bookkeeping, all of our invoicing, our finances, buying commercial properties, managing all of our investments behind the scenes that you guys don't really see and that what we won't really talk about. My IT background helps us out with all of the video editing, the photo editing, the website, setting up a lot of automated stuff behind the scenes that we don't really need to be touching on a daily basis. And I know it also seems easy for both of us because, you know, we travel the world, we work with all these brands, especially Nita too. I know it seems easy, but that's because she's really good at making things look easy and just effortless in general. That's one of the things I love about her, is that even though there's so many different things going on, we have to send this off to this brand, this scheduling is coming up, we have to look over this contract. There are a lot of contracts that we have to read. Anita's experience in law school helps us with that so much. Everything we've experienced in our life has kind of led us up to this point, which I think is really beautiful. The second question I got was, is it stressful having both incomes tied to this? I would say it was most stressful in LA when we were struggling, because we didn't know if we're going to make rent. We didn't know if we're going to, you know, if this was going to work out at all. We were just going for it because we were kind of burned out at our corporate jobs and the corporate path that we would have to follow. But you know, we just kept our head down, we kept at it, we just trusted in each other, just trust the process. The last 6 months of LA was when we really knew that, you know, this was going to work out. But just for the first year, I would say that was probably the most stressful point of our lives. Next question, is it weird having so much information out there about us? You know, it was in the beginning. I used to think about, you know, people really know a lot about us, but if anything, that's kind of a blessing. All these little things that we go through, like Nita's pregnancy, getting a house, all these major milestones, we have so many of you guys to share it with. It's really more of a plus than anything. It's nice to post something, just something small that happens to us throughout the day, and have so many of you guys care so much about what happens and just give us messages of support and all the good vibes. You know, we read everything you guys send in. It's kind of a good thing, actually. Okay guys, I think that wraps it about up. I'm still trying to figure out what I want to do with my YouTube channel. I'm probably gonna post some car stuff, stupid shit, Q&As. I'm just gonna flesh it out and just see where this goes. Until next time guys, bye.